I knew immediately walking in this house, this is an amazing place to make a record.
You know, being in a living room, you know, in Oregon just feels like, you know, a living room that we're used to, you know, and we just get to play and it just feels more comfortable and really like it makes such a difference to the recording. It's like, you know, being in a sterile environment where you have to think up everything, you know, and imagine how it's all working out compared to just being comfortable and just playing. It just comes out much better.
I'm a surfer and, you know, an ocean person, so it's also been really nice to have that just in the foreground. So it's like drums and water, it's kind of nice. Kind of my vibe. Yeah.
Couldn't imagine a better place with that view, turning to the right every time. I need a break and seeing the ocean, it's amazing.
We hadn't met Dominic before, but we were already talking that it would be cool to make an album. From Melbourne, and he was in Portland. And we hung out for like 3 or 4 days and just talked about music and talked about doing an album together.
We're all here to do the one thing, which is crazy. Normally in a studio there's distractions like bars or food or arcades or something like that, and like we're totally secluded. It's amazing. We just hopefully don't piss off the neighbours.
The recording that we've done here, it's just felt like we've made really simple decisions and had a lot of faith in the team's kind of ideas.
Being away from your hometown, which we're all from Melbourne, Australia, it's kind of awesome to get away from that as much as we love it. It just totally changes the way that you think about the music that you're playing.
We had to sort of do a bit of soul searching, I think, between us and individually and then together again to go like, you know, is this what we want to do? Is this how we want to do it?
Because of where I was living, there's this beautiful old piano. And I just found myself playing piano a lot more than I had done in the past, which meant I wrote a lot of songs with that under my fingers instead of the guitar, just because it was the nearest thing. But that's usually the discovery is finding groups of chords that seem to tell a unique story. And I did a lot of that on the piano.
The way that they've set up this house is incredible. They came in with this plan and they just, all of a sudden, there's a drum room and that becomes a guitar room and then there's a vocal booth. Just turn this house into an amazing studio. It's cool.
We use this crazy like massive kick drum. It's like 28-inch, which is really big. They're usually like 22, and a really big, deep, fat snare. And it sounds really kind of electronic and it sounds really like John Bonham actually.
Since I love that big room down there so much, we decided to get the amps down there too and put room mics up to get really that atmosphere, the depth of the room. Yeah, the surprise is that it sounds maybe even better than I thought.
As we've toured more, we've sort of become more nomadic, and the band's spread out over the globe quite quickly. And this seems like the perfect moment to make a record in that spirit, you know, spread across the world, a little bit displaced. So I think from the point of view of the group dynamic, it makes a lot of sense to be making a record like this right now, because it feels like the most organic way of telling a story at the moment.